Tired of the tax season headache? Li- Tired of the tax season headache? Laborally Bookkeeping is here to make your tax preparation simple and stress-free. We ensure maximum deductions and accurate filing so you keep more of your hard-earned money. Don't wait. Get peace of mind for your personal and business taxes. Book your tax appointment today at laborallybookkeeping.com.
Is your business's sound as unique as your brand? Find out how Ambitiously Entertainment can help you create the perfect atmosphere. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Disclaimer: the views and opinions expressed in this video and on the Ambitiously the Podcast YouTube channel do not necessarily reflect the opinion of our and Ambitiously the Podcast YouTube channel. All topics are for entertainment purposes only. TVMA, viewer discretion is advised. All commentary is alleged.
Hey, Welcome to the show if you're new. Welcome back if you are part of the ambitious family. Listen, welcome back to the Wiretap. I am your host, Kat Lee Wool, well, Labora Lee, aka Kat Lee Wool. And today, um, I'm gonna explain to you in a minute why. But today we are going to step back into a Baltimore story or Baltimore's history, specifically May of 1992. Imagine a Saturday morning, and if you are familiar with Baltimore, it's an area called Woodlawn. If you're not, that is a part of Baltimore County. A 16-year-old Chanell in Clanton leaves her home. She's a teenager with her whole life ahead of her, but she's also carrying a secret and a responsibility. Chanel was 5 months pregnant. She was last seen getting on the bus in Northwest Baltimore and then silenced. For weeks, the community searched. For weeks, the questions piled up. How does a 16-year-old girl vanish in thin air in broad daylight? Today, we're tapping into the files of a case that shook the Milford Mill area of Baltimore County to its core. The reason why I'm discussing this case is because a lot of times, well, I've covered other cases. I've talked about other young ladies being missing, and this is a thing here in the United States that is basically out of control, and so we need to talk about it. But if you haven't already, and if you haven't gotten it already, it is the wiretap. Um, Today we got to get into some things. But before we get into all of those things, let's get into this. Join the conversation. You can do that by calling the number 443-551-5963, 443-551-5963. You can shoot us a text. I'll read it on camera or on screen. You can drop a comment. I will put that on the screen, which I'm about to do in 1 second. Or you can call in and you will be live on air, so you know everybody will hear what you're saying. Okay. Okay. Um, yeah. Hit us up. Contact at ambitiouslyent.com. Contact at ambitiouslyent.com. Or you can hit us up at ambitiouslythepodcast at gmail.com. Ambitiouslythepodcast at gmail.com. Check out our website, www.ambitiouslyent.com, www.ambitiouslyent.com. Or you can, well, no, or while you're over there, join our coffee community. We would appreciate that greatly. We would. Thank you very much. I always tell y'all this, and I will forever tell you that this is as long as I'm doing this podcast, that we can get. Okay? We do. We need each and every one of them. Um, I think I'll cover everything else later. Listen. Hi, Doc, baby. Hi, Doc. Hey, we gotta shed light on all things. Can't always be a happy story, but sometimes, we gotta talk about these things. So, anyway, we're gonna get into this case because one, it's something that happened a long time ago. So it just lets you know that these things continue to happen to this day. Um, Secondly, I have witness testimony from this case. I actually sat down and had a conversation with somebody who, not an eyewitness, but a witness to the things that were going on. So I'm going to fill in certain portions. It's going to be back and forth, but I'm going to give you some of what the witness statement was to me. I got a first-hand statement from this person, and so yeah, and actually, this person was part of the reason that I decided to cover the story. having a conversation with this person. And this person told me the story, I want to say like 4 or 5 years ago. I want to say, well, yeah, about 4 or 5 years ago. And when they first told me this story, I could not get it out my head. And so we sat down and we discussed this case. And yeah, I was encouraged to do this particular case right here. So I'm going to do it. And this is my hometown. This is something that happened in my own hometown. At the time that this happened, I was about 13 years old. I wasn't really paying attention to the news like that, but I remember hearing about this story and then going about my little 13-year-old way. But let's get into it. So let's fast forward to June 1992. It's a Wednesday afternoon in the 3700 block of Old Milford Mill Road, a stretch many people drive past. Well, if you're from here, a stretch that many have driven past. But if you're not from here, then so you know, it's a busy little bypass, right? Um, a, but a decomposed body is found in a wooded area. When the police arrived, they found an identification card with the name, with Chanel's name on it. But here is where it gets strange. The clothing found on her body did not match what Chanel was wearing that last time she was seen. A host as a woman from the area, that detail sends chills down my spine. Like that's, oh my gosh. Like, so they had changed her clothes completely. Did she meet someone she trusted? Was she held somewhere before she left in those woods? The Baltimore County Police were working against the clock, but the decomposition made it hard to see the full picture immediately. Um, so I'm gonna throw the witness in here real quick. So um, this person knew her personally. Like they were talking at one point in time, like I don't want to say dating, but maybe, somewhere along they were talking. So what this person said to me, that she was someone who was, anyway, he was right there in the mix of all of this in 1992. He described Chanel as a 17-year-old girl. Well, she was 16-year-old girl who was fast. And y'all know I hate when people call young ladies fast, because you don't know what led up to her being the way she is. So I don't like when people are like, "Oh, she fast," or "She was fast." She had to be taught to be that way. So it's a bigger picture, a broader picture. So but the witness said that she was fast, but in a way, Baltimore girls are when they just full of life. Okay. I hate that word fast so much. I do. It bothers me to call a young girl fast. She fast. Like that's the first thing that people go to when they talk about people, and that's just disgusting. I don't like that terminology. But our witness remembers the day she went missing. The panic didn't hit immediately, but by the time an hour turned one hour turned into 3 hours, the streets knew something was wrong. There's a specific memory of her being seen at Security Square Mall, allegedly, and I'm gonna tell you that part because I wrote this, but it's more that I can tell you from my my interview with this person. So that day, people knew her, they saw her, and yet she still slipped away. Now, this witness said that I don't want to get to. I'm gonna break that down a little bit further because I don't want to give up too much just yet. So let's get into the secret. Now, we talked about the vulnerability of this case. Chanell wasn't just a child, but she was the child carrying a child. At 5 months pregnant, the stakes for her safety were at an all-time high, right? So in the wiretap, we look at why investigations often look at the people closest to the victim. We know that she was pregnant, um, but who knew that she was pregnant then? Who felt threatened by that life? And when you look back at the Baltimore Sun reports from 1992, there's a sense of sense of a community frustrated with the lack of answers. We're talking about a Woodlawn girl who deserved a future, found just miles from where she was supposed to be safe. And that's crazy, right? That's insane. Like, oh my gosh. So I still can't say the things I want to say. I'm gonna get into the nitty gritty in a minute. And it's crazy. This situation is a little bit crazier because, like I said, I interviewed a witness, so myself. So it was a lot more than what I'm reading right now, and I'll get to that in a minute. But anyway, so let's talk about the betrayal. Let's get into that part because it goes deep. And I want to know, who do you think had something to do with her disappearance? Who do you think had something to do with her passing? Let me know who you think it is. You can say it in the comments, but I'm going to continue this. So now let's get into the part of this case that really twists the knife: the betrayal within the circle. Okay. Craziness. We're going to get to that part in a minute. Let's come back to the family circle. So this is where the story gets incredibly dark. And it's a detail that you won't find in the standard police reports. Our witness reveals a deeper layer to this betrayal. And so we're going to talk about that a little bit. So, and this is where I can give you thank you, Doc, because I've been waiting for this shit for a minute, because fuck, this case is crazy. So months after Chanell was found, her aunt, Antoinette Clanton, was hauled into court, not as a witness for justice, but on charges of perjury. Why? Because she told a grand jury that she had received phone calls from Chanell after she went missing. Imagine the police redirecting their resources, thinking this girl is alive and just hiding out, all because of a lie. The prosecution argued that Antoinette's lies stalled the investigation during the most critical weeks. She was eventually convicted and faced prison for lying under oath. But the question remains, why lie? Like, why are you fucking lying, bitch? Was she protecting someone? Was she seeking attention? The lie may have cost the police the trial for Chanell's actual predator, right? So we know Antoinette was charged with perjury for lying to the jury, but the word on the street, the testimony we're hearing, is that the aunt may have attempted an at-home procedure on Chanell because she was pregnant by a 23-year-old man who was the brother to the witnesses' close, family members, or whatever. He was the brother to one of the close family friends, put it like that. And allegedly, word on the street is that she was pregnant by him. And so, yeah. So in order for the aunt to want it to to help her, and I'm getting into it, just give me a second. Just give me a second. But okay, now I just wanted to make sure I don't miss anything. Okay, yeah, we good. Now I can get into the nitty gritty of it, of what I received in my interview with this person. So the person told me this story, and I'm gonna not say his name because he is my witness. You know, he didn't ask me to not say his name, but I'm just not going to say his name for this podcast purpose. Um, but the way the story goes is that he received a phone call one day while he was working. Not even going to say what his profession is, but it definitely has to do with the music industry, right? So he's working. He get a phone call from Chanel's aunt. Chanel's aunt asks him, "Hey, have you seen Chanel? I talked to somebody. Somebody told me they seen you with her in Security Square Mall." So he like, "Nah, I ain't talked to her in a minute. You feel me? Like what you talk about?" And she was like, we trying to find Chanel because she missing. But meanwhile, when he's telling me this, he's saying that when she's saying this, Chanel, this is the day that Chanel went missing. This is not the next day, a couple of days later. This is the same day that Chanel went missing, right? Um, so he like, nah, I ain't saying no whatever. Cool. So then they stopped talking or whatever, and he got into some details about, you know, and I'll get into that in a little bit. But no, he didn't see Chanel, right? So Baltimore is a small town, right? The witness notes that they actually went on. He went to a driving school a little later on, well, years later, and it was owned by Chanel's father, which is crazy. That's how the world turns. These cases didn't just appear in the woods, into the woods. It stayed in the DNA of Woodlawn and Milford Mills. Um, it's so much with this case, and the reason why I really wanted to cover this case is because when you go to look up, like when I went to do my research for this case, they never cover these stories, like especially for young black girls. If we don't make noise, nobody will ever know. But we talking about in 1992. So in 1992, we didn't have like home computers and smartphones and all of that stuff. What you get, the news you got was from watching television or the newspaper. Like I said, my research was done. Couldn't even find video clips of old news cycles with covering this case. I got this information from the Baltimore Sun. And it was only like 2 documents you could really pull. Now you can go into the actual Maryland system and pull the court case, the actual case up, but you can't really um, get, and not the court case, you can get the aunt's information, but all they basically say is that she passed and whatever, right? But it's crazy. It's not much coverage for this. So the witness recalls that the aunt eventually got locked up, which she did. Um, it paints a picture of a girl trapped between a grown man and family member who chose a dangerous, illegal path instead of protection. It wasn't just a disappearance. It was a systematic failure of the adults in her life. And this is why I keep saying, everybody, oh, she fast. And again, I tell these stories now because at one point in time, I was her age. And I was preyed upon. I didn't realize it because I thought I was doing my thing. I was grown. But when it comes to grown men and dealing with young women, like young ladies under like teenage girls, and you're a grown ass man, you're over the age of 18, you're a predator. Why are you preying on these young girls? So that I have a problem with that. But this case was like, every time I hear this story, it baffles, like it, it does something to me. And like I said, I heard the story about 4 or 5 years ago, And the first time I heard it, I thought like this can't be. This sound like something on TV. This sound like something. And mind you, this person, like I said, he was about 17 or 18 when this went down. I was 13. You feel me? Um, and it just baffles me how people just do stuff like this. But yes, the aunt did. So let's keep it going. The aunt did accidentally take her life. She did, doing the at-home procedure, trying to get rid of the baby. Um, and the aunt hid her in the woods after she passed, and the aunt was charged for that as well, not just the perjury. Um, but everybody was trying to figure out, like, why was she, you know what I mean, like the perjury part alone, like, why are you slowing down the case? You feel me? Like, what? Why are you lying? Like, you can catch who did this to her. And naturally, you would think they would have looked at the fucking boy. I mean, well, yeah, her baby daddy, because he would have a motive. Like, all right, you know what I mean? She a young girl, and we about to have a baby. But I'm gonna be honest with you, here in Baltimore, that's not a thing. You know how many young girls have babies by a grown ass man? I got a couple cousins. You feel me? So, yeah, yeah. And then you think her aunt was like, from what I understand from my conversation with the witness, her aunt was like one of those cool ass aunts. You feel me? Like, the down aunt, like, come on, baby, you come over here and hang out, whatever. Like, come kick it with me. Oh, you want to do this? Go ahead, do that. You want to smoke a cigarette? Go ahead. You feel me? She was one of those kind of aunts. So naturally it would make sense for the young lady to run to her aunt. But what doesn't make sense to me is how the aunt, in 1992 we only had televisions. Why was that? No, okay. Yeah, in 1992 we had TV, and radio magazines and newspapers. That's what we had at the time. And no magazine was covering this case. No radio state. They might have talked about it briefly on the radio, but they wasn't talking about it long. And on television, yeah, they talked about it briefly on the television, but they didn't talk about it long. You got two press clippings, which is both are from the Baltimore Sun. Those are the only two. I did the research. So I was ecstatic to actually have a witness to sit down and talk to, because that's somebody who was actually somewhat involved in this case. Because what the fuck? What the living fuck? But she went to the aunt to get some help, because she didn't want her parents to know that she was pregnant, whatever. Which is typical for young girls, and the aunt tried to do the procedure and fucked up and killed the girl, and then dumped her body, and then the body was found, and then that was basically the story. Nobody really talked about it anymore after that. Nobody really, what I mean. Now let me give you some other insight though. The witness mentioned names that are still around. People who were like sisters and really tight with Chanell. One of them even named their child in her honor. She's now in her 30s. Um, a living tribute to the girl who never got to see 18. Right? Just crazy. Chanell Clanton's case is a reminder that when we lose a young woman in our community, we lose generations. She would have been in her late 40s today. Her child would have been an adult. It's insane. It's insane. Um, I want us to remember her name. Cases like this remind us to look out for our girls. Like, Stay vocal when someone goes missing. And and to understand the truth is the only way to heal. Like, we got to look out for our girls. We got to look out for them because nobody else is looking out for them. Nobody else. We got to look out for our girls. And that's real. We got to look out for our own. We got to keep them safe. And sorry to say this, but some of you grown ass men need to stop. Well, not some of you. Any grown ass man that's preying on a fucking kid, cut the shit. Like, what the fuck? Somebody, you lucky ain't somebody ain't demembering you. That's a nice way to put it without getting too. Because what the fuck? Leave these little ass girls alone. You are out of pocket. Leave them alone. You grown ass. The fuck? Anyway, but and then if you're not, don't do that. Just try to help her figure out how to tell the parents. Or, you know what I mean? But that was stupid as shit on the aunt's part. Like, what the fuck? Who told you were the doctor? Who the fuck gave you permission to do that? Yeah, she said it, but she was 16. She was a baby. The thing that you should have did is like, all right, niece, we going to figure it out, and we going to go sit down and talk to your mom and your dad, and we going to all figure this out together. Instead, you decided to do a procedure like you was some fucking doctor, knowing goodness goddamn well you weren't, and that baby lost her life, which is insane. This happened in 1992 again, so times were different. Again, not much coverage on this case, which was insane to me. Because I do remember it being on the news, but I don't know why, for some strange reason, I cannot find. I remember that it was on the news, but for some reason, I cannot find any news coverage of it. But with newspapers, they archive a lot of their previous content. So I might be able to find it. I might need to dig a little deeper, but it wasn't much more than what the Baltimore Sun gave. So that part I do remember. It was just like, found the body, locked the aunt up for perjury. Aunt gets the charge for the passing of the girl, and that's as far as the news coverage went. This one, I think I needed to tell this story because I couldn't get it out my system. I couldn't. It just sat on my, like, for the last I want to say 4 or 5 years. I said three. The last 4 or 5 years, this story has sat with me, and I'm like, what the hell? Like, sat with me. He told it to me back then, and I almost didn't believe it, but then I remembered the case. I remember hearing a little bit about it. Um, but again, I was 13, so I didn't really pay too much attention to it. And then I contacted him, and I let him know, like, yo, I still can't get that story out of my head. Would you be interested in sitting down and having a conversation about it? And he did me the honor. We had a conversation on the telly, and we talked about it. But his involvement was that at first the aunt tried to shift it his way, so he could be someone that the police would. That's where the perjury and all that shit came in at. So you could kind of shift it his direction, so people wouldn't actually look at her for this situation. It was crazy. It was crazy. But that's what happened, man. So rest in power, Chanell Clanton. And that was her aunt on her father's side. Rest in power, Chanell. I know that you and baby girl, y'all are with the Most High, and y'all are all right. But that's just messed up that had to happen to you. Like, that's insane. That's insane. Parents, we also have to start making it comfortable for our children to be able to come and talk to us, even when it's difficult, even when it's real hard. You, I know we want the best for our children, but these are like this. These is when these conversations happen. So we need to start having real conversations with our kids, so that they don't think that they gotta run out there and be doing crazy stuff. And then situations like these won't happen because they're afraid to come to us to tell us that they went out there and did some stuff, and now they pregnant. You feel me? Or they're about to have a baby with some girl. We gotta make it more comfortable for our children to come talk to us, like real talk. Because that girl, but the only reason why she was in that situation is because she was trying to hide something from her parents about a situation she got into. And it probably, I don't know the ins and outs of that part, but her baby daddy and his age probably played a part too, because she came from a nice family. And thinking about it, me thinking about it as a 15-year-old, I mean 16-year-old girl, but I wasn't even 16 yet, but I was 3 years away from it. Um, Me being like a 16-year-old girl, I'm thinking like, how would I have? One is I want to protect my boo, because I know my parent, my if they're her parents or anything like my parents, they gonna get you. You 23 years old messing with my 16-year-old daughter, statutory, statutory, and they wouldn't have let up. They would have been on them head. They would not have let up. So yeah, that would have been an issue. That would have been an issue. So this story was a little heavy, and I had to tell her because, like I said, I couldn't get it off my mind. It's been on my mind for a while, and I just wanted to make sure that I could talk to the witness, to get some information, some intel about what exactly happened, and I wanted him to tell me the story again. So, not because I didn't believe him, because that part is obvious. I obviously believe him, but maybe, you go back and you sit down with a person, maybe you'll get more details that you didn't get the first time. But no, he told the story exactly the same way he told it the first time, basically. Um, Maybe some extra. No, he probably threw like some extra, some family members in there. You feel me? That I didn't know was connected to the whole situation. But yeah, ugh, child. Anyway, I gotta lighten the mood. Y'all know when I do these kind of stories, cause it's just it's just crazy. Let me say this, because we're gonna start covering some things around here. Let me say this real quick. Listen to DM. Um, Hit us up at contact at ambitiouslyent.com. You can hit us up at ambitiouslythepodcast at gmail.com. But hit us up. And it doesn't have to be from Baltimore. It could be from any state. Um, but we're going to tell these stories to keep their names alive, because a lot of times people just overlook victims. And it's not just girls, it's children, it's children of all genders, it's adults of all genders. It's many out there that we need to have a conversation about. I have a few lined up just from my city alone to talk about in the next upcoming wiretaps, but not this one coming up. I'm trying to figure out, because these other cases can be a little tedious and long. Um, and I got one case that involves Fat Joe, Jay Z, Rock Nation, and a few other people that I want to cover. So I'm trying to figure out, like, do I want to hop on that real quick, and then come back to the. I think I'm gonna do it that way. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do it that way. That way I can have a break in between these kind of cases. That gives people time to hit us up and let us know some things we need to know. Okay, but we are going to start making sure we show love to the missing because and the unsolved because somebody has to do it, and it seems like people just like, oh no, well it happened. Okay, let's keep moving. Nah, we need to find some things out. We need to figure out what's going on in this crazy world, and not enough of us are doing that. Anyway, it's time for me to get to the love notes because, like I said, I need to lighten the mood after that craziness. But I want to thank the witness for having a conversation about with me about this case and their part. It's unfortunate that the aunt tried to pawn it off on him for a second. It's like, girl, I didn't even had nothing to do. I wasn't even nowhere near the location, but she tried. He felt like basically the way he broke it down, he felt like she was trying to set him up. Um, and he had nothing to do. And I'm glad she didn't because he wouldn't have done the amazing things that he was able to accomplish um, if that had like really completely happened. You feel me? But that's messed up that she tried to set that man up. She did. Um, but yeah, that is the case with Chanell Clanton. Um, I'm going to I have a few words I'm gonna say after I get through all of this, but I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all know at this time of night, I just start getting yawny, and I don't even know why. But I got a few words in my closing that I'm gonna speak. But yeah, somebody need to do something, some kind of new law or something like some kind of new penalty for bringing harm to children should be like focus on that. Like they focus on so much dumb shit. Do that. Clear this shit out. Stop these fucking idiots from doing shit to people. Like, damn, y'all not doing enough. I'm not satisfied with how people handle these things. I'm not, sadly. But anyway, it's time for the love notes. First, before I get to the love notes, though, let me say this. Anybody watching from Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, or Rumble, I appreciate you so much. This is live love, or perhaps it's replay love because you came back later to watch it. I see y'all when y'all do that. Thank you. Thank you so much. Um, but now it's time for the love notes. Now, let me tell you something. Y'all gonna be proud of me because I updated my list. It's a new country, a couple of new countries that I'm gonna shout out this evening because yeah, they just joined the ambitious family, and so I gotta show them love. So the love notes basically is my way of showing my listening audience love because they don't watch, they're not looking at me, although y'all not really looking at me right now. They're not watching, they're not looking at me, they're listening. They hit the download button, they download the podcast, and they listen. And they come from far and wide, from mountains to the valleys. Like they come from all over the world. And so I like to show them love because this is the only way I'm able to do it. And that's why I do it. And how do we come up with the name Lebanese? Well, my lovelies. Yep, Doc, thank you, baby. Thank you. Um, so I used to call it love. Doc used to call it show notes. I was never gonna call it that. We bickered, we went back and forth, we went back and forth, we went back and forth, and then eventually we came to the compromise that we would call it the love notes. And I wouldn't change that for anything in the world. I wouldn't. I love the name of the love notes. Yes, I'm gonna get to that in a minute, Doc. But yeah, I love the name Love Notes, and so we changed it to that, and I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't change it at all. Doc also said I had a stack of papers the size of a composition notebook. I did not. I did have a lot of papers, but it wasn't the size of a composition notebook. And in all fairness, it was a lot of cities, states, countries, and territories on those papers. But we had to condense it down. We can't do that because the list will be we would be like probably 2 or 3 shows trying to cover all those cities, states, and countries, and that's not. I like to get to the point. So now we do only do countries and territories, and so yeah, it is time for the love notes. On, hold your freaking horses. Some things gotta happen. Some things gotta happen because I don't do it like that. All right, now let's get to the love. I feel like I should have like a candle or something, make it sexy. But anyway, let's get to this love. I love y'all. Hold on, dag nabbit, that was fast. That was fast. Hold on, I'm gonna finish my list. I don't care what nobody say, but guess what? I don't even need to pull it back up. I got it. I know who I'm showing love to. I got you. 1 second. Give me 1 second. I got it. I got it. Because that was fast. I'm going to fix that too because I can't be going that fast. That was too fast for me, baby. All right. Last on the list, Vietnam. Welcome, Vietnam. Welcome. That's crazy, right? Estonia, hi. Panama, hello. New Caledonia, thank you for the love. And United Arab Emirates, thank you for the love. Thank you. They wasn't gonna stop my shine, but I gotta slow that part down. There's some things I gotta tweak on my little presentation. But y'all, I love y'all so much. Thank you for tuning into this podcast. Thank you for hitting download and listening. Thank you for listening once you got with the one show, going and listen to the other shows. Thank you so much. That is a beautiful thing, and I just appreciate you guys so much. Now let me get over here because there's some things over here I gotta. Yeah. Doc said protect the youth and hit that follow. Doc, my name is Kat Lee, and I definitely approve this message. Kat Lee Wu says yes to this message. Yes, I do. We gotta. Somebody gotta do it. And thank you for my extra bling. Thank you. Um, Somebody has to step up. Somebody has to really step up and help these babies because what the hell is going on out here in the world? Like, what is wrong with y'all? And to the men who be preying on these young girls, what, you can't find a grown woman your own age? Probably not. That's probably why you preying on these young girls. I know it's a deeper psychological thing behind it, but at the end of the day, like, damn, leave these babies alone. Give them a chance to grow up and mature into the women that they're supposed to be. I promise you. Some of y'all get on my fucking nerves. Not to. Again, I'm gonna get back to that in a minute. Again, silence is not an option. It's not. Like, it's time to put our foot down and gain some control of this bullshit, because it is for a fact bullshit. Um, Damn, I hate these kind of cases, but I have to cover them. Like, and my soul says that I have to care. Nobody says that I have to cover, but my soul says I should use my platform for good, which is bringing some kind of resolve to this bullshit. All right. Join the conversation again. You could do that by calling the number 443-551-5963, 443-551-5963. Or you can just stop contact at ambitiouslyent.com. Contact at ambitiouslyent.com. Check out our website, hold on, www.ambitiouslyent.com, www.ambitiouslyent.com. While you're over there, join our coffee community. I want you to do that so we can have salacious, titillating, and taboo conversations. And then over there is no censorship. I just say what the fuck I want when the fuck I want to say it. And fuck them. Real talk. Listen, I tell y'all every night. Every fucking night. Like shit. Hold on, what? That we can get. We do, and we appreciate it. And that's a way for me to, if I see that you do that, then I can shout you out. You feel me? But I can't do it unless I know that you do that. You feel me? Basically, I can't do nothing, babes. Nothing. Nothing at all. Anyway, much love to our residential DJ Rukazi. Spoke with him today. He working on that mix. Should be some heat on Friday, so prepare yourselves. And check out the website, www.laborallybookkeeping.com, www.laborallybookkeeping.com, for all of your financial needs. I'll say that. Cover bookkeeping, cover taxes, cover credit repair, cover all things. So go over there and check that out. Okay? Okay. All right. Let's get to some of these comments. Comments. Some of these will not be presented because I don't even know why they're there in the first place. Matter of fact, I got you, baby. Yeah, you out of here. You out of here. And I thought there was another person that I need to get out of here. Nah, that's it. Anyway, so yeah. Be ready for Fire Friday. I'm ready. I'm ready already. Uh, it is now time for me to say the things that I need to say. I say these things every night that I do this podcast. And I encourage you to tune in to more episodes so you can have an understanding of what this podcast is. It's bigger than what you think. We dig into some shit over here. And we will continue to dig into some shit over here. But first thing I'm going to tell you is this: mind your business, because everybody's business is not your business. Except for Media Monday, where I tell everybody's fucking business because I'm nosy. Well, everybody that's in the celebrity world, I tell their business. I'm nosy, and I want y'all to be nosy with me. All right? I mean, why miss the festivities? Anyway, the tap in, which is coming back next Tuesday. Next Tuesday, I will be doing a new episode of the Tap In because guess what? My last day of class was last night. So, yep. Next Tuesday, we will be back up and running with the Tap In. Okay. But on the Tap In, I just want you to know I don't intentionally tell people's business. Um, I don't, but sometimes it happens. Um, it's warranted always, but never intentional, but it's warranted. Yeah, for sure. Um, but yeah, it's never intentional. Anyway, the wiretap, as you can see, if you have a case or there is a case and you're depraved, sinister, foul, disgusting, dumbass, diabolical, stupid, idiotic, jackass, fucking imbecile. If Doc was here, he would say insidious type of person. If you're any of those things, and you got a case, and I can pull it, or I can put a piece together to talk about it, I will. I will, and I am. So yeah, I'm telling people's business on the wiretap. Wet and Wire, that's more my business. Sometimes I use Wet and Wire for other purposes as well, but yeah, for the most part, that's that's my business. I feel like it's only fair that I tell some of my business because I tell so much of other people's business. So it's the balance for me, baby. I'm a Libra. It's the balance for me. I gotta balance it out. Um, I gotta balance it out. Um, Cattails also next Saturday, will be airing a new episode. We had to work on some things. School was taking up a lot of time, baby. I ain't really had time to get on my grind like how I want to, but it's all of these in due time. Everything comes in due time. Um, but yeah, on Cattails, let me tell you something. I tell stories about things that have happened to me in my life, not other people. Well, I can tell those stories. And submit your stories, and I tell them. But I tell stories of things that happened to me in my lifetime. Um, and yes, most of these stories include other people. Here's the thing, though. I change every name, every fucking name. If your name is Michael, then it'll be Mark. You feel me? I change. I mean, that's not necessarily what the name is going to be the next episode, but it's just so you know that I changed the name, so it's not the actual person's name in the story. The only way that they would know it's you, jackass, is if you jump in the comments and you decide, oh, y'all, this next episode, I'm gonna just say, if you got a queasy ass stomach, I'm not gonna get too in detail on this one, but it's going to discuss you a little bit of the story. Is going to discuss you. Uh, but yeah, I changed the name, so there's no reason for you to jump in the comments and run your mouth. Now they know it's you, jackass. Or the other way to be exposed is if you decide to hit me up about the situation because you feel some kind of way because I told the story. Listen, they didn't know it was you anyway, so what the fuck? And if I'm telling the story, we probably don't deal with each other anymore anyway. So you have no reason to hit me up. And then if you do that, I will expose your real name. So don't hit me up about it. Okay? Okay. Great. Um, but other than that, oh, and if Doc was hit on the show right now, on the screen right now, he would tell y'all, a hit dog will holler. And I just say holler, bitch, because if you holler, I'm a holler too. Let's go. But anyway, other than that, mind your business. Everybody's business is not your business. Everybody's business is not your business. Is a safe way to live your life by just coming over here being nosy and then going ahead about your business. But whatever. Um, Listen, love your babies, hug your babies, encourage your babies, and tell your babies that they are, baby, the GOAT, the greatest of all times. They need that love. They need that encouragement. They need that support. You don't know what kind of fantastic, great people they will become if you just put that effort in to be a great fucking parent. That's it. And I know we all learn. We're learning. It's a learning process. But Even if it is a learning process, put your best foot forward to be the best parent that you could be. You feel me? That's it. That's simple. Um, Listen, if they want to work for NASA, tell them the best astronaut, engineer, receptionist, janitor, secretary. Um, I don't know what the hell else they do about NASA. I don't know. I don't know. But what I do know is that you should get yourself a telescope, a good one that requires a little assembly. It comes with scopes, beams, lenses, all that good stuff. I'm freaking listen. If you got one like mine and it comes with an app, assemble it, take it outside, and discover some shit with your kid. Because that's what good parents do. Help their children explore. You might discover some shit. Maybe an asteroid, a comet, a meteor, a freaking planet that they say is a planet, or a planet that they say is not a planet anymore, but fuck you, it's a planet. You made me build a solar system, it's a planet. Um, Sorry, my bad. They just made me so angry about it. Or perhaps you'll run into what I do believe now may be one of my relatives, because apparently I'm an alien too. But um, some beings. I don't know if they're gonna beam me from up or down. I don't know where they beaming you from, but wherever they beaming you from, when they get you, they probably gonna probe you. And here's the thing: if they probe you, then this message is for them, not for you. But they're gonna get the message through you. So the message is Cat Labora Leak, aka Cat Lee Wu, does not want to go. Hell no, I won't go. I don't want to go. Leave me where I am. I'm fine. I'm just fine right here. Leave me here. Unless you got a planet that's better than this planet, and I might be willing to break out. You feel me? Um, well, otherwise, leave me where the fuck I am. I'm good. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm yawning, and I'm still not done because it's trash night. I gotta take the trash off. Anyway, um, but yeah, I don't want to go. If they want to work for NASCAR, tell them you best NASCAR driver, pit post, pit crew member, commentator, engineer, because they have those as well over there, or whatever. I don't know what they do at NASCAR. What I do know is that they have a need for speed, and at one point in time, the muscle car was king. And in my opinion, the muscle car is always king. You know what I'm saying? Put the pedal to the metal. They was talking about them, not the shit y'all driving today. They was talking about muscle cars. Vroom, vroom, bitch. But anyway, yeah. Whatever it is that they want to do, though, you should be a great fucking parent, and you should tell them babies that they are the GOAT, the greatest of all time, every day. Any day that you could tell them, you should tell them. You should just tell them. That's your job. Real talk. Any day that you could tell them, just tell them. Listen, I tell my baby that I have a great, fantastic, elastic day every day. And every day she say no, but I don't miss a beat. You feel me? Like, one day she gonna be like, Mom, I did have a great, fantastic, scholastic day. And I'm gonna be like, yes! But until then, I'm gonna just keep doing it. I'm gonna keep letting her know that she's great and that she can do anything she puts her mind to. And that's real talk. I'm gonna always do that. But yeah. Okay. It is now time for your fair warning.
The following moments may contain explicit language.
There's no may in it. It definitely does. So don't be surprised or acting all shocked when you hear what the fuck I'm about to say. Stay the fuck in your lane. My lane. Your lane. Not the fucking same. Stay in your shit. Don't jump over here in my lane. Your lane over here on the left. My lane is over here on the right. Even though I probably should be on the left because it's a fast lane. But whatever. Stay the fuck in your lane, bitch. Okay? Shit. You jump in my lane, you're going to get something that you do not want. Do not break the fucking glass. Do not push the fucking button. Stay the fuck in your lane. You do that, it's at your own. It's your fault. I'm going to just say that. I was getting ready to try to be funny. No, it's your fucking fault. You shouldn't have never did it. You do that, you're going to get her, and you do not want her. She is not nice. She's not sweet. She's not kind. She's not cuddly. She is none of those things. You're gonna get this. You're gonna get her, and you don't want her. Don't bring out the war. Yeah, yeah. Don't bring out the war. Don't do that. Okay, not at all. Don't do that. Mm-mm. No, you don't want her anyway. You don't want her. Let me tell you, you want her because she's nice, sweet, kind, and cuddly. Yeah, she is. Yes, yeah, sweet she is. You want her, or you want the 2-for-1 special because if you get her, it's a 2-for-1 special. Um, you get an AU Big Purr, bitches. AU Big Purr, yes. You want the AU Big Purr too? I'm gonna give it to you real quick. Here you go. Because listen, if Cat is purring, Cat is a happy, happy girl. You want that. You don't want the roar. Don't fuck with the roar. Just stay away from that. You break that glass and push the button, the gates open up, and next thing you know, you are susceptible to getting your head bit off. Okay? Okay. All right, cool. Listen, let me do this one more time. I gotta make myself think a little bit. AU Big Purr. AU Big fucking Purr. Bitches. Anyway, yeah. You don't want plus you don't want the war. Plus what usually happens when you jump into other people's lanes is the collision. And who the fuck needs that? I don't need that for me. I don't need that for you. We don't need that for we, so just stay the fuck in your lane and everything's calm, cool, and collected. I promise you. I promise you. Which brings me to my next subject, which is pick and choose your battles wisely. Every battle is not a battle for you to fight. Some battles you gotta be like, you know what? You got that. You won. Have it. I don't give a shit. Have it. Some people aren't wise enough to recognize that that's what they should do, but it's cool. You feel me? It's real cool. I'm not gonna go too far to go in on you today, baby Caligula, but yeah. Listen, you did lie though. You said you studied rap battles for a living. You never did, because if you did, you would study the greats and know that the greats say or had a song that said that there's a war going on outside and that no man is safe from it. They said you can run, but you can't hide forever in these streets that we done took. They said you walking with your head down, scared to look with your bitch ass. They didn't say that part. They said you shook. There ain't no such thing as halfway crooks. Scared to death is scared to look. Mama say, mama sa, mama kusa. Mama say, mama sa, mama kusa. Listen, they were some very wise young men. They were so young and understood so much about the world. Yeah. Worry about the war. Fuck the battle. Lose the battle to win, to live another day to fight the war. Real talk. That's my mantra anyway. But let me keep moving. Listen, be you. Be amazingly you. Be wonderfully you. Be genuinely you. Authentically you. Ambitiously you. But be you at the end of the day, babe. Be you. Even if they say they hate the way that you walk, the way that you talk, and the way that you dress. Listen, to them things I wouldn't even worry about anyway. Fuck. Just be the best dressed weirdo ever. And don't worry about how you walk. That's how God made you walk. But the talking shit, you can help that shit. Don't go file court cases for battles that you engaged in. That's stupid. It's really stupid and a career ender. Uh, Stop making up fake ass accents. That's not cool. Nobody wants a fake ass you. Be yourself. Fuck. And just really in general, shut the fuck up. And then, everything's cool. Everything's cool. Remember, what they eat don't make you shit, and what you eat don't make them shit either or either. At the end of the day, the bottom line is neither one of you are shit. So, fuck them. Fuck them. Fuck them. Fuck them. Child. Listen, you can't make people happy. You will never be able to make anybody happy. You can add to their happiness, and if they allow you to sprinkle a little pixie dust, tell them think happy thoughts, and then they start floating. Cool, but You can't make anybody happy because happiness starts within, right? Starts with inside yourself, oneself. Doesn't start with other people coming in and making you happy. Okay? You came in this world by yourself, baby. You're gonna leave by yourself, even if you're hard twin, except for those few exceptions of the different kind of twins. I don't talk about them. I'm not a doctor. I have no knowledge of what that entails. But you came in this world by yourself, you're gonna leave by yourself, baby. You are. Just need you to know that. Um, Listen, no matter how you try to tweak it, fix it, rearrange things so you think that they're gonna be satisfied, they won't. They will not. They will find something else to nitpick about. So fuck that shit too. Real talk. Real talk. Uh, Focus on what you got going on, baby. And I tell y'all all the time that misery, that bitch loves company. And I always tell that bitch, I don't like your kind of people. Get the fuck away from me. You know what I mean? Go on about your business. But anyway, last thing I'm gonna say is this. Well, no, that's not the last thing I'm gonna say, but this is almost the last thing I'm gonna say, which is this. Dream big. Dream so big that your dreams exceed the universe, baby. And then when you realize and visualize the dream, um, plan and execute. Because that's the only way that it's gonna happen. You gotta put the work in. It doesn't happen without you putting the work in. All right. I believe in you, and I hope you believe in yourself too. You can get it done. You can make it happen. Make it happen, baby. I'm watching. Can't wait to see what you got, what you cooking up, and let me know about it so I could be like, I'm proud of this person because they said they was going to do this and then they did it. I'm so proud of them. And so yeah, let me know. I would like to know about that. I'm proud of you though, and I know that you can do whatever you set your heart to do. Okay, listen. Like I said, as we close, I said this before. I'm gonna say it again. This wiretap segment. I want us to remember Chanell Clanton's name. Cases like these, like I said, always are a reminder for us to look out for our own girls. Um, we don't just look at the perjury charge or the decomp of the body. We look at the girl who was loved and who was failed and who Baltimore refuses to let go of. Uh, this is the real wiretap. We hear everything. We do. Oh, our ears is on these streets, honey. Oh, they are. Listen, I am Cat Lee Wood. This is Ambitiously the podcast. And if you have any memories of these cases or you want to share your thoughts, hit the comments or send us a message and let's keep the conversation ongoing and the search for the truth alive. Stay safe, stay out of trouble. Um, if you are going to get in trouble, make sure you got a hell of a lawyer on retainer because you're going to need them. Um, y'all, be easy, and I love y'all. And I will tune back in with y'all on Friday for Fire Friday because I'm ready for this mix. I need it after this. But I will talk to y'all on Friday. Good night. Bye, y'all. Love y'all. Oh my gosh, I love y'all so much. Thank you. I love you. Bye. Hold on.
Oh,